This is how you play Carcassonne with the Inns and Cathedrals Expansion. This video assumes that you know the rules for the base game. If you don't know the rules for the base game, please check out my two-part video on the subject. This expansion provides 3 additions to the game. There are 8 tiles used with the new Inns and Cathedrals game mechanic. There are 10 tiles with road, city, and cloister features in new configurations. And there's a new kind of follower, or meeple. All of the new tiles have a small meeple icon, so you can easily separate them from the base set if you wish. When setting up the game, you mix in the new tiles with the regular tiles from the base set. The new meeple is added to your pool of available followers. Let's look at these 3 components in more detail. These 8 tiles are the Inns and Cathedral tiles. They introduce a new scoring mechanic. They follow all the normal rules regarding placement, sharing, and so on. These road segments have inns, represented by the little house by a lake. Note that on this tile, the inn is next to this road segment, and not next to these. The cathedral is on a tile with all city edges. Don't confuse the cathedral with this tile from the base set. Note the little houses on this tile versus the large cathedral here. If you complete roads or cities that include these tiles, you will score more points than usual. A completed road with an inn scores 2 points per tile instead of the usual 1. The inn can be on any of the road tiles, and having more than 1 inn on a road has no effect. You still only get the 2 points per tile. So for example, this completed road is worth 2, 4, 6, 8 points. A completed city with a cathedral will now score 3 points per tile and per pennant, instead of 2. So for example, in this city, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 3, or 24 points. By the way, farmers still only earn the usual 3 points per completed city, even if it has a cathedral in it. Now here's the catch. Incomplete roads and cities will now score 0 points at the end of the game. Remember, in the base set, you would get partial points for incomplete features. When playing with the expansion, there's a very strong incentive to complete these features. The benefits of higher scoring features is pretty obvious, but there's also an offensive use for these tiles. If you place one of these special tiles on an opponent's already claimed feature, you have the potential to change their strategy. If they do not complete the road or city, you have just made their investment useless, worth 0 points. If you try this strategy, be sure to try to make it difficult or impossible to finish the feature. You might want to save this strategy until late in the game, when tiles are running low. These 10 normal tiles include new variations and configurations of the parts you are already familiar with. Here are a few worth noting. This piece here, for example, has this field in the middle, and if you claim it as a farmer, there's the potential that you could have 4 completed cities, and it would be uncontested because you'd be the only farmer on there. This tile here has a road segment on each of its 4 edges, but it's not a crossroad, so that's sort of a different configuration for that. This tile here has a city only on one edge. You see the wall kind of comes to a point here in the corner, and it kind of wraps around. So there's actually 2 field segments on either side of this city. The cloister on this tile is actually the terminus for a road, so there are actually 2 road segments on either side of this cloister here. And finally, this piece here has 2 road segments on it, right here and right here. These 2 little roads here are just decorative. They're not really usable roads. And then there are 4 fields on here potentially with this piece. The expansion comes with 1 large follower in each of the colors that you add to your pool of 7 from the base set. This totals 8 followers. This follower is slightly larger than the normal ones. Here's a size comparison. The large followers obey all the usual rules for placement and scoring. I'll just lay down these followers here so that you can see that the yellow one is the small one, and the blue one is the large one. However, when it comes to scoring contested features, like this city here, the large follower counts as 2 normal followers. Note that the amount of points earned is unaffected. The large follower's unique ability is only brought into play when scoring a shared feature. So for example, in this city, with the small yellow and the large blue, when they are joined together, either in a completed city or in a partial city, this counts as 2 followers instead of 1. So in this example, blue will get all the points and yellow will get none. This effect is cumulative. So for example, if yellow managed to get their large follower on this little city segment here, and this city was completed in the normal course of play, you would count the yellow large follower as 2 and the small one as 1 for a total of 3. To blue's 2. So in this case, it would be 3 against 2. Yellow would get all the points for this city. Large followers are an especially sneaky way to give yourself an edge when laying claim to a farm, especially one that's being heavily contested in the middle of the board. And that is all there is to Inns and Cathedrals. Thanks for watching.